Hello everyone, welcome to Rose Academy. This is Elementary Algebra. This is going to be a series, and the series is titled Elementary Algebra 1. In this series, you are going to be looking at Elementary Algebra. I'm not going to bore you with a lot of crazy mathematics, just the basics of algebra. This series is targeted towards first year students of African universities. So if you're a first year student in an African university, or even if you're not a first year student but want to review your knowledge on elementary algebra, you are in the right place. I'm going to be releasing a lot of tutorials on this series, and once all the tutorials are available, I put them in a playlist so that you can easily follow along and also download to aid your learning. So watch out for that. And if you have not subscribed to this channel, make sure you do so and click on the notification button so whenever I release any video, you are going to see it easily. So that is it. Let's start with elementary algebra. This is just a quick run through of what we're going to be discussing under this series. We're going to be starting with trigonometric function, under which we are going to be looking at differences and product formula, the radian measures, the degree measures, inverse trigonometric functions, and the rest. Also, we are going to be looking at exponential functions. Here we are going to be looking at a to the power of x. How do we define it? We look at the number e, we look at the natural exponentials and other topics. And next we'll be looking at logarithmic functions. Here we look at operations involving logarithms, equations involving logarithms, the number natural logarithm also. And next we look at algebraic function. Here we look at polynomials, we look at the division algorithms, we look at the long division, synthetic divisions, factor theorem, remainder theorem, and host of others. And we'll also look at rational functions. This is a very important part of this series, rational functions. We're going to be looking at asymptotes, we look at partial fraction decomposition, we look at roots of rational functions, and we also look at finding domain. And lastly, we are going to be looking at complex numbers. I'm not going to talk about this majorly. When we get to here, we look at that. Here we are going to be looking at representation of a plane. We look at sum and differences of complex numbers, we look at modulus, we look at zero polynomials, we look at quadratic formulas, all under complex numbers. So as I said, this is elementary algebra 1. So whatever we do in this tutorial is going to prompt us into elementary algebra 2, which is coming out immediately after this series. So I would like you to pay as much attention as possible to all these topics. You can start reading ahead now before going to the tutorial, and if you have any question along the way, feel free to put your questions in the comment section, or you can message me directly through roseacademy@gmail.com. So let's get started with the first topic, which is trigonometric function. So before we start with that, I promise I'm not going to bore you with a lot of videos. Therefore, I'm going to make the videos as short as possible so that you can easily grab and move to the next video. But there's going to be a full tutorial along the series. Just watch out for that. I don't know, it might cover an hour or so or more. So there's going to be something like that coming. But apart from that, the tutorials are going to be short so that you can easily follow along and easily download also. So we are going to be starting with trigonometric function today. So let's start with trigonometric function. Trigonometric function. This is an introductory class, so I'm not going to be giving us a lot of calculations, just some theoretical information about trigonometric function. Let's get started. This is the major thing we are going to talk about today: relationship between degree and radian. So let's try to prove some theories, and now we can define degree and radian. So to start with, let's consider a circle. Oh, that's not a perfect circle actually. Now we have a sector of this angle. This is a proving, so just try and move along with me. If you don't understand anything, feel free to post it in the comment section. Let me name this B. This is our angle R, and let's name this length S. Now, if you remember from the length of arc, if I had to measure the length of arc AB, let me put that from length of arc formula. We have that S, which is the length of arc, equal to theta over 360 2 pi r. So this is the formula of finding the length of arc. So here we have S, which is the arc S, equals to theta over 360 2 pi r. And from how I defined radian the other time, we can have that if theta is measured in radian, then the radian is equal to S over r. That's majorly the definition of radian, which is S, the length of arc, divided by the radius, S over r. So now, if theta, let's assume theta equal to 360 degrees. Now, take note that we have theta here, and we also have theta here. So if theta equal to 360 degrees, therefore we have, don't forget, angle at a point is equal to 360 degrees. Here, this is just an acute angle. What we have here, it might not be a 360, but if you are to assume that theta equal to 360 degrees, we're going to have, from here we have S equal to 360 over 360 2 pi r, and then we have that S equal to 2 pi r. And also, if you call this equation 1, and we call this equation 2. Now, if you substitute equation 1 into equation 2, we are going to have theta equal to S is now 2 pi r over r, and then we have theta equal to 2 pi. Theta equal to 2 pi. But don't forget, we said that theta should be equal to 360 degrees. Therefore, we are going to have 360 degrees equal to 2 pi. Let me clean this side off. 360 degrees equal to 2 pi. And dividing through by 300 by 2, we're going to have 180 degrees equal to 1 pi. So this is majorly what we are looking for, which is the relationship between degrees and radian. We can write that pi radian equal to 180 degrees. Therefore, 1 pi, which is 1 radian, equal to 180 degrees. This can be written anyway. You can say that 1 degree equal to pi over 180 radian. And so just note that this is what we are looking for. Pi, which is measured in radian, equal to 180 degrees. To better drive this point home, let's look at some examples. So this is our first example. The question says express 30 degrees and 315 degrees in radian. And from the relationship we look at in the last slide, we said that 1 pi equal to 180 degrees. So take note of this formula. This is what we are going to be using. So the first one, which is 30 degrees. How do we do this? So if we go by proportion in mathematics, we have that pi equal to 180 degrees. Therefore, we are looking for radian. So x equal to 30 degrees. So here we cross multiply. We have x equal to 30 pi over 180, and this equals to pi 3 that's going to be 6, and this is pi over 6 rad. So 30 degrees equal to pi over 6 rad. And the same way for the second one, 315 degrees, we have pi equal to 180 degree. So x is going to be 315 degrees. So cross multiply, we are going to have x to be equal to 315 pi over 180, and then we have our answer to be 7 over 4 pi. Let me put that in radian. So 30 degrees equal to pi over 6 radian, and 315 degrees equal to 7 over 4 radians. You can just think of any example and do this yourself and check whether you have fully understand it or not. Now let's look at how we can convert from radian to degrees. This is second example, and here we are to express 3 over 4 pi radian and 5 over 4 pi radian in degrees. So it's the same proportion we are going to use. Here we have that pi equal to 180 degrees. So we are going to take note of this once again. So let me change this to white. So do the first one, which is 3 over 4. Oh, that 3 is not 3. 3 over 4 pi. So if you have pi to be equal to 180 degrees, so 3 over 4 pi equal to x. So the same way we cross multiply here, we're going to have multiply 3 over 4 pi by 180 and multiply x by pi. So here you have pi x equal to 180 multiplied by 3 pi over 4. And if you divide through by pi, here pi will cancel out and we're going to have 1 over pi. So pi is going to cancel pi and we have 180 times 3 divided by 4. The answer here is 135 degrees. So that is 135 degrees. So I want you to try out the second one, which is 5 pi over 4. Try this out and check if your answer equal to 225 degrees. So if your answer is right, just put it in the comment section below that you got it right. And that is it for this tutorial. See you in the next tutorial.